Hello there everyone. Right, second review time. Today it's going to be Snow White and the Huntsman, and I'm really looking forward to reviewing this. So I was very surprised by this film really, because when I first saw the trailer I was like, wow, this looks really epic. It's, big battles, it looks very, very epic, and it might be hard to pull off with the Snow White story. But they did it. The film is very dark in tone, a lot different from Mirror Mirror. It's quite violent. For a 12, it has a few scenes that I was quite shocked that were in it. I may talk about them in the spoiler section. So anyone who's familiar with the story of Snow White will know exactly what to expect at the beginning. It's basically this evil queen. She kills Snow White's father after marrying him, imprisons Snow White for most of her life. Snow White gets out, and up until that point, the story was almost exactly the same as Mirror Mirror, just a lot darker and a lot more violent. But when Snow White escapes, then we get new characters introduced, the Huntsman, and from then on the film is basically the Huntsman and Snow White going back to basically take back the kingdom off the Queen, really. And it's entertaining. The story is simple, but that is very good. It's very clever because it doesn't distract you then from the film's more important things like the amazing visuals and the fantastically choreographed action scenes. So I saw Mirror Mirror earlier in the year and I was pretty disappointed with it, to be honest. I thought it was quite dull. It was funny in parts, but generally it wasn't that entertaining. But this is fantastic. It is awesome. Massive improvement over Mirror Mirror, but still it has its faults. So acting wise, this film is actually pretty damn solid. I mean, I think when most people saw that Kristen Stewart was in it, they were like, oh no, it's that emotionless girl out of Twilight. No, why? But you know what? She's actually okay. Out of Twilight, I actually think she's a pretty good actress. In Adventureland, which was probably the last film I saw her in, I thought she was really great in it. She's not a bad actress. It's just Twilight has given her a bad rep. Chris Hemsworth is very good in this film. He's actually been in two of my favourite films of the year so far, The Avengers Assembly and Cabin in the Woods. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a good year for him because he was very likeable in this film. His performance wasn't exactly very standout, but he did what he had to. He was probably the most likeable character in it. Now the main actress I would like to talk about in this is Charlize Theron. Wow, she was brilliant in this as the evil queen. I mean, when you say evil, she was really evil. She was a sort of evil where it was just, it's not just talked about like the deeds that she does. It will show you her killing innocent people, slaughtering villages. She was very intimidating. Although I did think she overacted a little bit in some scenes, but still, she was fantastic throughout. Now the last thing about the cast I would like to talk about is the ones who played the Seven Dwarfs. Now, in Mirror Mirror, I was not a fan of the Seven Dwarfs. I thought that they were pretty boring, really. They didn't serve much purpose in the story that much. This is completely different. Now, straight away, you've got recognisable actors. Ian McShane, Nick Frost, Bob Hoskins, which was great to see him in this. I haven't seen him in a film in quite a while. And, oh, who's the other one? Ray Winston, that's the one. He was funny as well, he was funny. And in this, they were very funny in parts, and that helped the film a lot, because without them, there would have been no comedy in the film. So the comedy fitted in well, and the jokes were very funny and clever. Everyone was laughing. But they also had this different side to them, where they played an important part in the story, and they had a darker side to them, which was good. Whereas in Mirror Mirror, they were just, they were idiots. All of them were. There seemed a lot more well drawn out characters in this. I think my favourite thing about this film is probably how they changed the tone of it. It's not the classic bedtime story that you're used to. It's very violent and it has this very sinister feel about it. And I like that a lot. From the opening shot, you know this is going to be a lot more violent. It's a big battle at the start. And straight away you're like, is this Snow White? What? Battle? Snow White? What? And these battles continue throughout it. There is a lot of action in this film. I was surprised by this. I didn't expect half as much action as there was. And even better, it is well choreographed. There's not a lot of shaky cam used. It's very easy to see what is going on in all the battles, among all the chaos. And it's just really well shot film. The camera work is very good in this film as well. Especially in the scenes where they're in the dark forest and she's manoeuvring her way through. And you've got all these nightmarish creatures. It's just really well shot. Visually, this film looks absolutely amazing. when I was watching it, I got this sort of Tim Burton vibe from it. I don't know if any of you did either. Just the way the world's very surreal, very fantasy-like. Like the scenes in the dark forest, that was very Tim Burton, you've got to admit. All the creatures in the forest coming off the trees and the branches, you know, moving. It's all felt very Tim Burton-ish, which looked amazing, looked fantastic. And the scenes in Sanctuary, a bit later on in the film, were very well shot as well. Very innovative use of camera work as well. I like the way that, like, there's bits with the moss on the trees. There's all this green moss, and it's actually a snake wrapped around the tree. And I thought that was very clever. And there's like rocks, then they get up, and like turtles, and there's loads of fairies, and it's very beautiful to look at. Now, unfortunately, this film is not perfect, and I mentioned a minute ago about pacing issues. Now, this is kind of hard to explain, and a lot of people might not understand this, and you might not even pick up on this. Now I've pointed it out, you may. Throughout the film, when it gets to about the halfway point, it follows the same structure, and even my girlfriend noticed this. They get involved in some battle or fight sequence, then they will run. They'll run away from it, keep going. Another battle sequence, then they'll run away from that again. And throughout the film, it just repeats this. Meet a character, battle sequence, run away. Meet a character, battle sequence, run away. It's just them running from one battle to the next. And it was almost like it just repeated the same part of the film over and over and just put different battles and different characters in each part. It was weird. But again, it didn't make the film terrible, but it kind of, I thought it was a bit predictable. It became predictable after a while. This was the biggest problem with the film. And maybe a lot of you wouldn't notice that, I don't know, but unfortunately I did. And my second problem with it was some of the characters in it were pretty boring. I mean, there were a lot of characters that were underdeveloped, and a lot of them just came into it, then left next minute. Just pointless characters in it. But that said, in films like this, I'm not picky about that. I watch these sorts of films for the action, for the escapism. So I'm not too fussed about that, but I know a lot of people will be. So I just thought I'd point that out. Now, the character that I felt was most underdeveloped was the character of William, her childhood friend, who was not in it for most of the film, but then came into it bits and bobs, then, you know, he was in it a lot at the end. Now, he was well underdeveloped to the point where I just didn't really give a shit what happened to him. But I thought that was quite good as well, because I thought this love triangle was going to emerge like near the end between him, the Huntsman, and Snow White, and I had such a bad feeling. I was like, this is going to spoil the film if this stupid love triangle emerges and it takes over the whole film, because that is my biggest flaw with Twilight, this love triangle. It's so soap opera-ish, you know, it's just rubbish. But luckily it didn't. There was no love triangle to be seen in this film, but that still doesn't hide the fact that he was underdeveloped and a pointless character in the film. So that's it really. I don't have much more to say about Snow White and the Huntsman. It is a fantastic film and I would highly recommend you see it. Yeah, I know I was a bit harsh about the pacing and things like that, but it isn't massively distracting from the film. I'm sure if I hadn't pointed that out, you wouldn't have noticed it. The film is action-packed, it looks amazing, and it's got solid acting all around. So it's really good blockbuster entertainment. So just go watch it now. Seriously, just come back, comment, tell me how awesome you thought it was. I love a good fight scene in a film, honestly. Anyone who knows me knows fight scenes are just the best thing to me in a film, and this film has some great ones. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please comment below if you liked it. Please like and subscribe to me, and yeah, that's it till next time. And also, I'm going to start reviewing world cinema films now, and I'm going to start off with a few Japanese horror films because they're quite a big craze at the moment. So yeah, anyway, bye.